Hello, I'm Peter Towers. Welcome to the webinar for members of ESS BizTools on government grants. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you have any questions during this webinar, please go to chat and type your question in. If you're watching this webinar at a later time more suitable for you and you have a question, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. Government grants lead to business opportunities. They certainly do for your clients. Your clients can benefit by getting access to a new technology or new systems, new processes, and half of the expenditures being paid by the Australian or state or territory government. For your accounting firm, there's tremendous opportunities. You could assist your client with the application and then charge them a fee, of course. You could potentially undertake some of the work that has been partly financed by a government grant. That could include the preparation of a business plan, predictive accounting reports, budgets, cash flows, projected balance sheets, assisting with the reports that are required to be prepared as part of this grant program. There's a large number of grants in Australia, probably well over 1,000, that are offered by the Australian government, state and territory government. Some local government organisations do offer grants, mainly to attract businesses into certain areas, whether it's CBD or perhaps a new industrial park. There'd be a reason for it, of course. And there's some private industry associations, organisations that offer grants. The one that I'm familiar with is the Coal Industry Grant, which offers grants for businesses or people who are developing new services, new technology, new processes for the betterment of the coal industry in Australia. So it's well worth looking out for these activities. ESS BizTools produces a weekly grant update. It's sent to you on a Monday or Tuesday, and it gives you an overview of new grants that have been offered in the previous 7 days so that you can monitor them to see if some of them will be of benefit to your clients. Because the introduction of grants to your clients can create a great atmosphere between you and your client, because they'll see that you're helping them, you are their trusted advisor, and that half the cost is being paid for by the government. Now, the grant papers are the real core of the ESS BizTools systems. They're available, obviously, on our website. There's a preamble for each grant report, so you can quickly read the preamble. It's about half a page, and decide whether that's the grant that will suit a particular client. And we have assembled this material in sections on the ESS BizTools website. 014 is the Australian government grants and assistance. I would recommend that you read paper 014001 because it discusses using government grants and will help you have a better understanding of the grant application process. And then we have a separate section for each of the states and territories. 141 is Queensland, 142 New South Wales, 143 Victoria, 144 ACT, 145 South Australia. Tasmania's got 146, Western Australia 147, and the Northern Territory 148. So you can go into there and find the grant papers that we've prepared for you to use. Particular grants that I wanted to highlight to you today are the Industry Growth Program. This is the successor to the Accelerating Commercialisation Grant. There are grants available from $50,000 through to $5 million. You might say, wow, who's going to get $5 million? Well, someone got $4.4 million off the government about 6 weeks ago for their application. All of these businesses have to be companies with turnovers under $20 million. So they are definitely within the targeted group that I imagine most of the ESS BizTools subscribers are interested in supporting. So $4.4 million one of those companies received. The Export Market Development Grant is paper 014564. The big news there is that the next round of applications opens on Tuesday, the 12th of November. at 10 a.m. AEDT. Why the enthusiasm on an opening date? Well, it's very important because there is a set sum of money allocated by the government for the Export Market Development Grant. And when that's all allocated by Austrade, who are the government department that handle this grant, there's no more money. So if you have any clients who are exporting goods or services to businesses outside of Australia, unfortunately, except New Zealand, and most definitely except countries which the Australian government has declared we're not very friendly with. But everyone else in the world, there's still 200 odd other nations. If your client is exporting goods or services to them, they can potentially claim the Export Market Development Grants. And if you have a client who's offering services in Australia, so it might be barrier reef tours, it might be tours to Uluru and Alice Springs, it might be Tasmania to look at the wonderful nature parks and waterfalls and all those other wonderful things in Tasmania, they can also submit an application. And bear in mind that a SME can claim up to $770,000 over a 8-year period from this grant. So there's a lot of money. The client has to match it on a 50-50 basis. That's worth looking at. And we're also going to highlight to you today the Research and Development Introduction Program. The flowchart we're showing you is FC050, which is planning a research and development project. And then we have the paper, which is the eligibility for research and development, which is 052005. So I'm just going to share those details with you now. So we're going to go to the members homepage of the ESS BIZTOOLS website, which hopefully you're very familiar with. And we're going down to the sections and papers. So if we click on there, and that takes us through into the categories of papers. To look at the Australian government grants, we go to 014. And here are the grants that we have here on the Australian government grants to assist businesses. And the grant that I wanted to highlight was Industry Growth Program. There is a preamble. And this is the grant that has funding available from $50,000 you should now be able to see that, the Australian Government Industry Growth Program. Obviously, when you're going to send this to your client, you can delete the ESS BIZTOOLS banner and put your own there if you wish. So we have a summary of what the program's all about. It's all funding within the National Reconstruction Fund, the NRF. They're looking for innovative product, processes, or services that's new, unique, or significantly different to any other previous product, process, or service in the market or industry where the product is intended to be sold or traded, or involves significant enhancements or developments of current products, processes, or services that will enable the business to scale and transform. Now, there's two categories of funding. There's the early stage commercialization, which your client could be eligible for a grant of $50,000 up to $250,000. And then there's the commercialization and growth, where the grants can range from $50,000 through to $5 million. So they're well worth looking at. There are priority areas. They're there on the screen now. Value add in resources, value add in agricultural, forestry and fisheries, transport, medical science, renewables and low emissions technologies, defence capabilities, and enabling capabilities. And there's further information there to better describe some of that terminology that the government has used. So I would commend the industry growth grant to you to have a good look at, to see how you might be able to use that with your clients. And I now want to bring up the Export Market Development Grant. There's a preamble, of course, about the Export Market Development Grant. Explains how it operates. There are tiers in this grant. Tier 1 is basically for starters. Tier 2, someone's been doing some exporting for a while. Tier 3, they're pretty serious about exporting. If we click on here, we can get the paper. So we're looking at the Australian Government's Export Market and Development Grant. There's a fair bit of detail in this grant. As I said to you earlier, the next round of applications opens on the 12th of November. If you've got clients who you think may be eligible, I'd be suggesting you contact them shortly, and that you familiarise yourself with this grant before you do so. And what your clients would be applying for here now is up to 2 years funding. So this is over 25, 26 and 26, 27. They want to do them in one round of applications. So please read that material so that you're able to assist your clients in this process. Now, to get the research and development, I'm just going to back into our system and going to research and development introduction, because we treated it, even though it's a government grant, we treated it as a completely different area. And what we have is an introduction program, the full details of which are now on your screens. You could look at that in a time more convenient to you. And the first thing I want to bring up is the flow chart. So this is a flow chart which we've developed to assist you to be able to communicate with your client about research and development. So a client's come to you and said, well, how's research and development work? Can you show me? I've got a couple of lads in my factory who want to undertake some experimentation. We've got links to papers. We're going to show you one of those papers shortly. And we've got BAS forms, which give you more information on particular information. So you could work your way through this to use this flow chart as a support tool, if you like, to be able to discuss research and development with your clients. But please read this material first before you start talking to clients about research and development, because it is different. It is a little bit difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it works quite well. And hopefully our documentation will assist you. Incidentally, if you come across anything you don't understand or you think could have been better explained in our material, please contact me. Send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, because we will want to fix it, because we've written this material so that you can use it to communicate with your clients. I think there's a lot more opportunities for research and development activities to be undertaken by SMEs. So that gives you an idea, hopefully, of how the flowchart process works. You can start thinking about which clients talk to you about undertaking research and development so that you might be able to undertake that task with them. I'm bringing up now the eligibility paper for research and development. So you've got to, instead of putting it all together in one big paper, which would have been about 300 pages, we've broken it down into 10 separate papers covering research and development. Hopefully a lot easier for your clients and for you to read and understand. So this is the eligibility. It's one of the first questions people ask. So it's for companies with turnovers the $20 million. Now, this is for the R&D tax incentive. This means that if your client's trading at a loss, they're able to claim the cash equivalent as a refund, as long as they've got losses covering that amount, direct from the tax office. And the tax office will pay this to them within 30 days of the tax return being lodged, as long as you're indicated in the tax return that your client would like to receive that refund. You must tick that box. So hopefully this has given you a bit better idea of the material that's within ESS BizTools relating to government grants that you could utilize to assist your clients to better undertake their services to your clients. So if you have any questions, if you're watching this after our stipulated time for when we were presenting the webinar, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, and I'll get an answer back to you. So thank you for your support of ESS BizTools. Have a great day. Goodbye. And I look forward to communicating with you again next month when we look at another aspect of exploring the ESS BizTools resources that are available for you to assist your clients to run better businesses and to survive in these difficult times at present. Thank you. Have a great day.